Let us wrap up Good Morning Hamilton today by talking about a new book that's out. This is a real book. This is not made up. The title, The Complete History of Toronto Maple Leafs Championships in the Last 6 Decades. Yes, ponder that for a second. You will see. It is available on Amazon. The author is Stanley Slump. Might be a nom de plume, I'm not sure, but he joins us now. Stan Lee, how are you today?
Well, good morning, Scott, and thank you for inviting me on your show.
Well, listen, I got this book, and it made me laugh. Absolutely, it made me laugh. Let me go through. So it's The Complete History of Leafs Championships. Let's go through the 6 chapters you've got here. Chapter 1, 1968 to 1977, 34 pages. I would describe the writing as sparse.
Well, that's pretty accurate. I think the championship record speaks for itself. What more is there to say?
Okay. 78 to 87, again, sparse.
Yes, I was searching high and low through the annals of sports history, and I couldn't come up with too much more than what's there.
Chapters 3, 4, 5, and 6. Sparse, 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 and sparse. In fact, if people don't get it, is a legitimate 200-page book that has no words except for the foreword in it. It is white paper. And do you remember what you wrote in your foreword?
Yes. The author's note says, I have no words.
Where did the idea come from? Because this, I mean, look, for some Leaf fans, they may be outraged by this, but I think it's hilarious. Where did the idea come from?
Well, really, Scott, it's not a cheap shot at Leafs fans or at the organization. It's really a tongue-in-cheek attempt to put some light on the record of the last 6 decades and really to commemorate the record for the longest Stanley Cup drought in NHL history that was set by the Leafs this year.
Yeah.
So the Leafs are number 1 in the NHL. Let's celebrate. Let's acknowledge that.
You say we. Are you a self-deprecating Leaf fan, or are you a Leaf hater who wants to poke fun at the fans?
Well, no. Stanley Slump is a sports historian with a soft spot for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay. I must say, so leaving aside the book, no, we don't want to leave aside the book. It is available on Amazon. If you have a Leaf fan in your life who you would like to have a joke with, who can take a joke, be sure they can take a joke before you give this to them. It is there. However, there were a couple things in the notes that came with the book. There are some things there, and I got to tell you, there was a lot of things that jumped out at me about how long it's been. I mean, if people go back, the last time the Leafs won a cup, in case people need reminding, Mr. Rogers had not even got started on TV yet. There was no McDonald's stores in Canada at that time. I was born 6 months after the Leafs last won a cup, so I haven't even been alive to see a Maple Leaf Stanley Cup. But I'll tell you, the one thing that really blew my mind, and I can't even believe this is true, although I'm trusting that you've come up with the right number. In all the years since they won the cup, the Leafs have only won 19 playoff series. That's stunning.
They've won 19 playoff series. That's right. In their history since they won the cup.
That is that's.
But they haven't been in the playoffs that much, Scott.
No, I know.
That's the issue. Do you know? I'll just throw one more at you. 1 in 5 Canadians were not alive the last time the Leafs won a playoff series in 2004.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to say 67. I thought, how's that possible? No, 2004, yeah.
The last time they won a playoff series, 1 in 5 Canadians were alive. 2 out of 3 Canadians were alive the last time the Leafs won the cup.
That puts a little crystallized picture on it. The other thing that really blew me away, and this is, if there needs to be any more urgency to win. Now, they do have 53 years before they catch up with the Cubs for droughts, but nonetheless.
You're absolutely right.
Only 9 more years, and the last Leaf Stanley Cup engraving on the Stanley Cup will bounce off there as they move them down. So if they don't win in 9 years, there will be no Maple Leafs, except in the top bowl, but there will be no Maple Leafs on the Cup. That is stunning.
Yeah, that would be sad if that happened, because the Leafs are still the second winningest Stanley Cup organization in the history of the NHL. And in 9 more years, if they don't win then there will be no record of any Leafs team on the Cup.
Amazing. The book is called The Complete History of Toronto Maple Leafs Championships in the last 6 decades. Could be 16 coming up. Freudian slip. The author is Stanley Slump. It really is a book. You can find it on Amazon if you have a Leaf fan in your life who needs a funny gift or maybe something to buy them now for Christmas while you think of it. But they will not have won a cup before Christmas, so it will still stand if you need to get that. Listen, I appreciate you taking a few minutes today. Thanks for doing this. Pretty funny.
Thank you very much for having me, Scott. Have a nice day.
You as well. It is a pretty funny. It is a lark of a book. If you do have someone who's a Leaf fan in your life who can take a joke.
Thanks for listening to the Good Morning Hamilton podcast. You can listen to the show live weekday mornings from 5:30 to 9 on 900 CHML and online at 900CHML.com.
The Good Morning Hamilton podcast is available on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and wherever you get your favorite podcast. I'm Rick Zamprin. Thanks again for listening. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. It's free, so you never miss an episode. And make sure you rate and review.